Hi everybody, Ian Thompson here with another video. I'm a big fan of many film franchises, Star Wars being my number one of course, but my second favourite is the Terminator franchise, and today I'm going to be talking about the 2009 Terminator film, Terminator Salvation. Terminator Salvation was a 2009 film directed by McGee starring Christian Bale, Anton Yelchin and Sam Worthington. For once, this franchise didn't go with the traditional Terminator storyline of sending a killer cyborg back to the past to either kill or protect the future leader of the worldwide human resistance. For once, we got to see what it looked like after Judgment Day. In some ways, even though they said it wasn't, you could say that this is a direct sequel to Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, because at the end of Terminator 3 we see Judgment Day happening, and in Terminator Salvation it's 15 years after Judgment Day. So the fans have been wanting to see what life was like after Judgment Day and the formation of the Resistance and how the Resistance struggle in their war to destroy Skynet and the Terminators, basically. Christian Bale, who plays the main character, John Connor, and also Anton Yelchin, who plays John's, well, you could say he's his father. So he is trying to find his father, Kyle Reese, played by Anton Yelchin, so he could get him into the Resistance, obviously, but also stop him from being killed by Terminators. So he can eventually send him back to 1984 to protect his mother, to prevent the T-800 that's also sent back to 1984 to kill her. Also, there's a character called Marcus Wright, played by Sam Worthington. He is a convicted murderer, and just at the beginning, before the credits, we see him in the correctional facility, must be in California, and Helen Botham Carter, who works for Cyberdyne Systems Genetics Division, gets Marcus to sign his body over for genetic, obviously, experiments to see what they can invent a human hybrid Terminator, basically, because that's what he ends up being. But he is supposed to be used to try and get John Connor to actually come to Skynet's main facility in San Francisco to kill him, basically. It half works, but Marcus decides that he doesn't want to do that because he's still, human in a way that he still has a human brain and a human heart. So he has a chip in the back of his head. I would have thought it would have been used to control him, to actually make him kill John Connor, but it wasn't, luckily, and he decided to take that chip out and save John Connor. In the end, he did. Unfortunately, he was stabbed through the heart with a piece of metal by a T-800, which looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though it wasn't him. It was a man who had the same kind of body build as him, with Arnold's face digitally imposed onto him, So, but Marcus destroys that T-800 eventually, and Marcus gets John Connor to safety, and in the end, Marcus sacrifices himself by giving John Connor his heart so he can survive and also become leader of the Resistance, because at that time John Connor wasn't the leader of the Resistance, he was just a soldier. But because the plan that Skynet had of trying to get John Connor to come to their facility had worked, there was a bit at the beginning of the film where John Connor and his team were going into another Skynet facility to get some information, and that information was that there's a signal that can help destroy the machines in Skynet, but it was Skynet had wanted them to discover this, and it got a fix on where their base, their main resistance headquarters were, and they destroyed it basically. And like I say, Marcus sacrificed himself by giving John Connor his heart, and the film ended with John Connor saying, that this was a good victory, but the war wasn't over. And we hear the famous saying, there is no fate but what we make for ourselves. Anyways, I hope we enjoyed this review of Terminator Salvation. I thought it was a really good film. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And if you want to, you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Until next time, see ya.